Hi everyone! Today I will teach you how to do my slouchy beanie. I'm doing this in Italian colors, but I'm actually inspired from my husband's Adidas shoes. So I think it's a lot of fun to make beanies or winter hats for him that actually matches with his Adidas shoes. I also make some funny pieces for my dog that's in matching colors, like a beanie and a bandana. So at the end of this video, I will show you some nice pictures of and add a few links to other tutorials where you can make matching outfits for your dog. This beanie is a large size. This is like adult size. Today I will make a child size, but all the information will be below, added to this video. Regardless if you want to do an adult size or a child size, I will write it down for you. So you can tell from the back side it's all white, and then we add the stripes in the front. Okay? So to make a child size, we chain 36. If you want to make an adult size, you chain 46. So at the end there will be actually 40, well in this case 35 chains, and the 36th, the last one, will be your turning chain. So let's do this together. We will chain 36. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 35 and 36. So this is the child size. It looks really small, but actually it will stretch. So rather make it a little bit too small and let it stretch, and it will not feel like it's too big. So this will be the whole, let's say the length of your beanie, this, because I mean, you could choose to wear it like this, but I think it looks even better when you fold it like this. Here we are. So remember that when you are turning, you don't use this last loop. You start with in the second hole from your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again. So you just make single crochets all the way, and for a child size it's 35 single crochets, and for an adult size there will be 45, but in this case it's 35, and we do single crochets. And be aware of me using the US term. Okay, just continue and I'll see you at the end. Here we are almost at the end of row 1. So when turning, you make a turning chain, turn your work. So what we will do now to get this knitted look on our beanie, we will do one row where you add your crochet in the back loop of your work. You can see this V. So usually you would insert your hook and you would have 2 loops, but in this case on row 2 you will only insert your hook in the back loop, and you will continue to do your single crochets. I'll meet you at the end of row 2. I'm at the end of row 2, and we've been doing single crochets in the back loop. Okay, make a turning chain, turn your work. This time we will make single crochets through both loops, right? Through both loops. So basically what you do is you do one row with single crochets in the back loop, and then you do one row with single crochets through both loops. So continue doing every other with back loop, both loops, single crochets, and then I will meet you there and we will change color to red. Here we are at the end of row 10, and it's time to change color. We will start with our red color. So make sure that every time you change color, you do it at the same end, because this end will be hidden. This is like the top of your hat, and this is the end. Okay, so we will change to red color, and then basically you will just continue with what you've already done. So for me now, my last row of white, I was doing single crochets in how do you say, 2 loops, both loops. That means that my next row will be made in the back loop. So you turn your work. So as I said, this part of the beanie will not be visible. So when I do my turning chain, I actually don't bother to place a single crochet. This will count as a single crochet, okay? And then you just continue with the second stitch from the hook, and I will go back loop like this. Back loop, single crochet. So first you did 10 rows with white, and now you will do 8 rows of red. So continue back and forth with your red color, and I will see you at the end of the last row with red color. Okay, here we are at the end of row 18. So you've done 8 rows of red. So now we will change color back to white. Then you will do 8 rows of white. Then we do green, white, red, white. So you change color, and then you just continue doing what you've already been doing. You do single crochets, both loops 1 row, back loop 1 row, and then both loops, and so on. So continue with your white color, and sometimes I actually recommend you to do a count to be sure that you haven't decreased without or increased without knowing. Okay, so continue with your white color, 8 rows. Every other is back loop and both loops, and I will see you again at the end of the 8th row with white color. So here we are at the end of row 26, and it's time to change color again, and this time we will change color to green. If you are unsure about how to count your rows, you can think like these are 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 rows. So now you will change your color to green, and then you will do 8 rows of green, you do 8 rows of white, and then you do 8 rows of red again, and then for the final you will do 10 rows of white, and that's when you are done with your winter hat, and we should start to put it together. So I will leave you for now, and you will do all the rest of the colors. If you are unsure about the colors, just look at the description below, and I will meet you when we are done with all the colors and when we are ready to put it all together again. Here we are. You are more or less done with your beanie. Just leave the yarn for now on the end of your 9th row of white and start tying together all the loose ends to really secure the yarn. There is nothing more sad than a beautiful beanie that just falls apart. So when you hide the yarn, make sure you hide it into the same color in the pattern as the yarn, as the loose end. So put the red into the red color and so on. So don't cut the yarn just yet. Just leave it because you will need it when you will start assembling the loose ends together. Take your time when you are securing the loose ends. What I usually do is I go back and forth into different directions to really make sure that the yarn will stay. This strand you can just leave. Don't sew it in because you will use it to tie a knot later when you are assembling the beanie. To connect the two end pieces, you will single crochet to attach them together. As you should already know by now, I'm really into securing the yarn. I had so many bad experiences with my first projects. I wasn't aware of how important it is to actually secure the yarn. And they just, I spent hours and hours, and when I started using my projects, my blankets, they just fell apart. So tie a knot. And here we are with this is the top of the beanie, so just put your yarn through the different holes to be able to tighten it up. You should be very careful when pulling the yarn. It might look a little bit brutal, but be very careful. You don't want to rip it off. So pull it carefully, take your time, and then tie a knot. Now you can actually leave your beanie as it is with this hole in the top in case you want to add a pom-pom. And if you're not, you will just have to sew it together to make the hole, to close the hole. Congratulations, you just made yourself an awesome beanie. It's so cool, it's super cool, and it will keep you warm during winter. It's just a great hat. You can make it in different sizes, and you can make one for your dog as well. I have a tutorial for that. Remember, this is a great gift for your husband or for your good friends. And remember that you can change the colors. It's really up to you which colors you want to use. My inspiration was my husband's Adidas shoes that I absolutely love. And I have several more tutorials inspired by his or my Adidas shoes. So please subscribe and like, and I would be happy to hear from you.